Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm using Byredo's new palette Prismic to create two more looks. I had so much fun in my review of this palette that I decided to create another video. The first look, which I won't say too much about because I don't want to give it away, is focused on using the matte shades in the palette. The second look, which is what I have on right now, is using only metallic shades, and all of the shades but one I've used a wet brush on it, so you guys can get a sense of the color payoff and how it would appear when applied on your lids. For the first look, just a little disclaimer, it's something entirely out of my comfort zone, and I wouldn't say I was particularly good at creating that look or that the outcome was particularly good. So if nothing else, at least you get to see how the matte shades look, how pigmented they are, how easy they are to work with, and perhaps you'll be entertained like my husband was with the first look. Well, let's get on to the tutorials. I will see you guys at the end. I'm going to start by taking this blue shade here and I'm placing that right here. And I'm working the shade upwards here into the crease. Then taking this red, I'm applying that onto the center of the lid. Used just this brush to form a heart shape. I'm going to go back in with this pencil-shaped brush and I'm dipping it back into the blue. I want to add some more color and concentration right here. And I'm taking the same brush we used before for the blue and I'm blending it further out. Then I'm taking this matte green here and we're adding that to the outer corners. And then I'm going to use a different brush to diffuse the green. We do want to keep the green concentrated on the outer corners. And then I'm going to wet a brush. We're dipping that into this gold shade here, and we're outlining the heart. Taking this really soft glittery pink here. I really love this shade, it's so pretty. And we're just lightly tapping it above, kind of in this area here, to give it a little bit of color. For lips, I'm going to use Pat McGrath's Lip Divinal Lip Shine. This is in Boudoir Rose. This is the finished look of the red heart with a gold trim. It does remind me of a deck of playing cards or Alice in Wonderland. And I know that the shape of the hearts aren't totally the same on both sides. The challenge in drawing shapes for a makeup look or in a makeup look is just working with your eyes, because your eyes are not exactly the same shape on each side of your face. But it was fun. Seems like whenever I think about this palette and try to do something I would never do otherwise and something I would be very unlikely to wear out, I kind of end up with these fun and maybe wacky ideas. Yeah, it was fun to try. Well, let's move on now to the second look. So just now, as I was going to take off that first look, I went to go show my husband because it was hearts themed, it's Valentine's Day. He saw it and his first reaction was, "What is wrong with your eyes?" And and I'm not a professional. But at least you can see the heart swell, right? At least we're trying to do something out of the box, because if not, it's going to be a gradient look. That's what I have on this channel. I'm going to go back now with eye primer once again, because it does actually help make the pigments, the shadow, pop a bit more and has better overall stain power with a eye primer. And the eye primer that I have been using for well over a year now, not the same tube, but actually, no, the same tube, because I don't wear makeup every day. This has lasted me a very long time. So this is NARS's Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. I have actually a backup that I bought maybe 6 months ago. Not even close to, I think I'm maybe another month out from having to take out the new one. Definitely lasted a very long time. Okay, so for our second look, we're gonna do something different from our first look. I'm not gonna attempt to draw again. I'm very, very drawn to the greens on this palette. I actually used green for the first look, but these two here is just super, super pretty. I think I'm going to approach it like I would with a gradient, like, the usual gradient looks that I do, but we'll use colors here that are not typical, gradient colors. It's not like it's easy to find anyways. Yeah, so let's try that and then we'll see what happens. I'm going to wet the brush and go into this kind of deep swampy green shade. I think it's going to be a really, really gorgeous metallic. And we're putting that on the outer corners. I like how intense the green looks in the outer corners. If you were to do this without wetting the brush, you could still achieve, the same kind of opacity, but it's gonna take several layers. And I think even in the end, you're not gonna get that like solid color that we're seeing here. So I'm gonna continue to work this shade into the crease a bit more. It's like a little bit more diffused. And I'd love to try this metallic shade wet as well. That might be a little bit too deep, but I'll give it a go. That's pretty. I think we're doing okay so far, a little less outlandish than the last look. Now we're gonna go into this shade here. I think it's so pretty, and we'll see what that's like paired with the other two shades. And I will also use a wet brush for this application. I like how when I brushed it, it's not really uniform. I kind of did a stroke here, here, and on top, and I like how that effect looks. I do like how this turned out, especially with that last shade we put on, how it layers so beautifully on top of that deeper purple. I think this look as is would be a fine evening look. With a little bit more blending, mascara, some eyeliner, maybe some tight line under the eyes, we're good to go. But because we're doing something that is out of the box, not something I'm comfortable with necessarily, I'm not gonna stop here. So now we're gonna go into this really soft purple shade, this beautiful lavender lilac shade. And actually I did use this shade for my first video of the Byredo palette review. I did not use it with a wet brush, which I want to try now. We're going to ever so lightly or so I hope, add that onto right here, the crease. Okay, this will not work because just trying it on my hand, you barely see it. So let's see here. We could do the shade, this one here. Again, just ever so lightly. I think this one will take. But I don't think it's gonna have the effect I'm looking for. I'm looking for something like airy and light. We might have to go with the pink again. I might have to go with, you know, either one of these. I think this pink. I think that's gotta be the one. Let's see if we can do this in a controlled way. Oh, I like it. I like it. And now with a big blending brush, I'm going to go back to the edges here and soften it a bit. And let's add some eyeliner. For under the eyes, I'm going into this metallic shade here, and we are adding some tight line. And then to complete this look, I just like to add a little bit of lumosity to my outer corners, looking at the suitable shades on this palette. I'm gonna try to use this pink here. And I did actually go in with a wet brush as well. When I changed my mind, I added a lot more. We're there anyways. This is the finished look. Thank you for watching. If you're new to the channel, consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified every time new content is released. If you have been waiting for your palette, hopefully this video gave you more inspiration. Or if you're considering whether to get this palette or not, I would say if you're into really colorful looks and doing something, or be motivated to do something different every time, this palette is it. The quality is excellent. The matte shades are just so easy to work with, so easy to blend. You can work with your brush, your favorite brushes, a finger, even a sponge, and the metallics are excellent. The fact that you can activate them with water, and that's all you need. You don't actually need any kind of mixing medium. Water does just fine. These shadows will stay on my lids throughout the day. It just depends how much experiment you're wanting to do. And if you have a number of colorful eyeshadow palettes that you enjoy playing around with, they're easy to work with, then perhaps you don't need this palette after all. Maybe it's just good to serve as inspiration. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye.